Shalom. I just want to start by saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Bahashem Rachah Wadash. I want to give my honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Peace and salutations to a full and the occupants spreading his truth to the four corners of this earth. My name is Asha Allah, and tonight I just want to talk about how Israel was scattered and how we are being gathered. So without further ado, just get right into it. I want to start off in this Daniel 9 and verse 11. It says, "Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we sinned against him." We had went off from serving the Lord, so ultimately the curses that came upon us. You go to Deuteronomy 28. This is verse 45. It says, "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thy, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." So saying with that, Daniel 9 has said, these curses came upon us. Why? Because we didn't listen to the voice of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, to follow his law, statutes, and commandments. And these curses was going to be upon us and our seeds for forever, for a sign and for a wonder. And when you go into that word sign, it says a distinguishing mark.
Strong's H.
I did not mean to press that, but it shall be a distinguishing mark upon you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. So let's go down to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. And it says, "And the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood or stone." So let's dive into how we were scattered, man. Because this curse is fulfilled. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, are scattered throughout the whole earth, man. Serving these idols, learning the ways of the heathen. So this is Zechariah. This is Zechariah 1 and verse 18. And it says, "Then lifted I up mine eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns." Verse 19, "And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered me, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem." Talking about scattered, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. Talking about the scattering of the northern and southern kingdom. Israel as a whole. But what are those horns? Those horns, let's look that word up. Just getting it in the lexicon, and it says, right here, just highlighting it real quick. It says, figurative of person, a symbol of strength. So these 4 different powers, these 4 different kingdoms, 4 different empires that would take the northern and southern kingdom into captivity and scatter us, man. And what are those 4 horns? Before we grab that, let me just grab this Lamentations 2 and 17. And it says, "The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua have done that which he hath devised." Talking about the curses. "He hath fulfilled his word that he hath commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and hath not pitied. And he hath caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversaries. So he had the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, set up our enemies, our adversaries over us, man. Let's go to this Daniel 2. I'm going to just get straight to the point in verse 31. It says, "Thou, O king, sawest, and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image's head was of fine gold," and that's talking about the the Assyrian, aka the Neo-Babylon Empire, and the Neo-Syrian / Babylon Empire. His breast and his arms of silver, talking about the Persian Medes, which came after them. His belly and his thighs of brass, talking about the Greeks. You could read about them in the Maccabees. His legs of iron, talking about the Roman Empire. And the beginning. Well, the whole New Testament. We were under the captivity of the Romans. And this last part says his feet part of iron and part of clay. And that is talking about us today, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans today, under the rebirth Roman Empire, NATO in the EU, with America at the forefront of that. But those four horns, which have scattered us, was the Babylonians, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, and the Romans. And even today, we're still scattered. Let's see from here. I want to grab this Baruch. Baruch 3:8. It says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, our power." So even today, we are in captivity, subject to payments. Through this revised Roman Empire, man. But just as back then, in our captivities, man, we learned the ways of the heathen. We were subject unto payments. We served their idols. Even wood or stone, which our fathers have not known, which us or our fathers have not known. Let's want to grab this Psalms 106. And I'm gonna start at verse 34. And when we had came into the our land of Israel, just a little context, we didn't get rid of those other nations, and this is what this is saying. Psalms 106 and verse 34. "They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen, and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them." So throughout our captivities, we had learned the works of the heathen. We were mingled among them. We learned their works and served their idols, man. And even today, 2/3 of before we came into this truth, and even 2/3 of our people now, they are serving idols, man. JC, if you're in the Hinduism, you're serving the gods of Hinduism. Being a Muslim, these are different works and different idols that are of the heathen that we are snared in, we are trapped in as a whole. See, and how are we being gathered out of that, man? We're being gathered, we're being gathered by the word. This is Baruch. This is Baruch 5 and verse 5. It says, "Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east, and behold, thy children gathered from the west, rejoicing." So like it gathered onto the west, onto. So like I'm gonna just reread this over again. It says, "Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east, and behold, thy children gathered."
We're all eating lunch and waiting for
Slakia.
something that's really clever. Yep, and it never happened. I had so much time to get it right, and I never once did. He'd be like,
Salakia. Just read this one more time. It says, Baruch 5 and 5, "Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east, and behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of the Most High." So it's this word that's gathering us, man. You know, as we were scattered. See, let me grab this. See, this John. This is John 12, in verse 32. And it says, "And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me." You know, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. You know, because Yahweh Shai is that Yahweh Shai is the standard. You know, his name, what he stood for. You know, basically him being the volume of the whole book. We can grab that. And Hebrews 10 and verse 7 says, Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O Most High." You know, so Yahweh Shai is the embodiment of the scriptures. He is the scriptures, man. It says to draw all men because he's gathering his elect. You know, he's gathering his elect, and he's also condemning. He's also condemning the other nations. You know, so that's all I had. You know, hopefully this was edifying, man, and showing you how Israel was scattered and how we are being gathered. You know, we're being gathered by the word. You know, so I just want to end it off by saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rechah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Grand Millstone. Peace and salutations to Folek and the occupants from his truth, that's full corners of this earth. Shalom.